In the New York hush money case, Judge Juan Merchan gave the president-elect an unconditional discharge, but he didn't stop there, and neither did Donald Trump.
It never happened in our country before, and I'd just like to exclaim that I was treated very, very unfairly.
Despite the extraordinary breadth of those protections, one power they do not provide is the power to erase a jury verdict.
Joining us now to analyze the coverage, Mary Catherine Ham, Fox News contributor and co-host of the podcast Getting Hammered, and Megan Hayes, former official of the Biden campaign and the White House. Mary Catherine, why did the judge not just say, case closed, he's not going to impose a jail sentence on a guy who's being inaugurated in a week?
Well, I think he felt like he had to finish this job, even though, in my opinion, and in many of American voters' opinions, it was kind of a sham from the beginning and quite a reach when you're talking about cobbling these charges together that were past the statute of limitations and were not felonies, but we're going to create felonies.
Alvin Bragg and many liberals thought it was a blatantly partisan case.
Both in the way he's doing it and giving this unconditional discharge and in the coverage of it by much of media, there's a sort of admission that, like, we're just kind of making the donuts here. Like, we're just finishing this thing, because the point actually wasn't the verdict and the justice. The point was to impede him becoming president of the United States. I believe that that was the object here, and it didn't work out that way. So now it's just like, we're going to check the box.
Megan?
I agree and disagree a little bit. I do agree that this was a case that was put together, but he was convicted by 12 people, right, a jury of his peers. So I do think that the conviction needs to stand, and I think that's what the judge was doing here. I do think that the coverage at this point is being a little breathless. I think we just need to move on, but I do think
a little breathless.
I do think it is important to note that this is the first time in our history, and hopefully the last time, that a convicted felon will be the president of the United States.
So that was the idea here, to be able to say that a convicted felon in the person of Donald J. Trump taking office for the first time. But he still could have just said case closed.
I don't know if that was the idea, but he was convicted of a jury of his peers, and I do think it is important that no one is above the law. He's not getting any sentence. He's not having to do anything. But it is important that he was convicted by 12 jurors.
But the fact that he's getting no sentence sort of suggests that we spent a lot of time and money and resources on something that, again, was cobbled together in this novel form of charging that maybe wasn't worth a punishment, it turns out.
Okay,
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.